Hello, welcome to BUB'S World. Today, you're watching BUB'S Cigars. We're going to get into a first impressions of the new USEWIRE Humidor Cabinet with the pretty LED lights. So let's take a look at it. So first off, I just want to say I picked up this huge box. Check this out. So it is a USEWIRE Cigar Cabinet. Now, this same product goes by a couple of different names and manufacturers, but basically it's the exact same humidor. So there's three of them. They're on Amazon. They don't cost that much for what you're getting. You're getting a nice cedar wood cabinet. I'm sure that it's probably some press in there because it's very light, with a Spanish cedar veneer on the interior and cedar drawers, but still it's really nice. And here's the box that came in. We won't dwell on it too much. It's basically has almost no branding except for where it says USEWIRE right there, but there's two other brands that make this same cabinet, and I can't tell the difference between them. Looking at the descriptions, they're identical. They use some of the same pictures as well, and the ones that are different are just photoshopped differently. But basically, it's the same cabinet. These cabinets generally go for about 140 US dollars on Amazon, and then different ones will go on different sales. So I implore you to check the different humidor cabinets, and hopefully you'll find this one, because this one was on sale for Black Friday for only $110. So a huge savings on that. Really goes a long way to get, I don't know, one really nice cigar or four okay cigars. So, all right, so let's get a little bit of a close-up here on the new cabinet. I really like it. I think it's elegant, if you will, and it presents well for a nice desktop. So let's take a look, huh? So here we have just a front-on look at the cabinet. You can see it's made of this lovely wood finish, and I picked the brown one. Actually, if you want to get black, there's a couple of more companies that make this. I think there's 4 or 5 in total that make the same cabinet under different brand names. And the only thing different about them is, like I said, some of them only carry the black version, and some of them have this nice, more walnut-looking finish called natural finish. And then this little badge up here is a little brass tacked-on badge, and that changes. They put a different name on it each time. But other than that, it's basically the same. It has magnets here on the door. One of the reasons that I chose this humidor cabinet as opposed to some of the others on the market is because a lot of them have the digital hygrometer, which of course measures the humidity inside the cabinet. And the reason that I didn't choose those is because they tend to have kind of a, I don't want to offend anybody, but I find them to be a little cheap looking. I know that most people prefer a digital hygrometer to an analog, but I just don't think that there's anything real classy looking about the digital hygrometer. If I was going to do that, I would sooner get a small hygrometer that I can put inside this cabinet here in this shelf, because you can always do that, right? So I could add it to this shelf here and just set it there instead. And then when I look down, I can see it, as opposed to it being a real big, and that's probably what I'll do, is I'll probably go ahead and get a small digital one to put inside. But as far as the aesthetics go, I really prefer the analog. I think it looks a lot better. We are going to be doing the humidor starter kit by Boveda. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of this here soon. We're gonna drop it in there, and in 2 weeks it'll be well seasoned. So that's what's gonna happen there. So lovely, it's got 3 shelves. They're all really nice. I went ahead, this one's real nice because it's shallow and you can put an actual box on there if you'd like to display your boxes. And then this one has a nice little window here, so I appreciate that. And that LED light works with just a tap. It's not actually a push button, but it's just a tap here. And you can turn that on and you can turn that off. And then you can increase the brightness, which I think looks a little too bright. And then you can decrease the brightness all the way down just by holding them down. I like it somewhere about there. So a little brighter, but still very mellow, warm. I like a nice warm tone around my cigars and such. So that's what's going to happen here. We're going to go ahead and humidify the crap out of this thing with the 2 easy to use Boveda packs. The seal is fairly tight. I would say it's not 100% tight, but it's pretty close, and it does have the magnets to help draw it closed. And of course, once it is properly seasoned, we'll probably see a little additional tightness occur, because it is the wood against the wood, so that will swell a little bit on these edges. It will swell and catch just a little bit more, but it's already making a nice kind of suction seal. When you close it, you can feel it, and then the magnets bring it the rest of the way. Another really interesting thing about this cabinet is that this lovely flat, it's a completely flush design to the drawer pull, and then you push it in and it ejects. So if you're looking at these cabinets online, this is the only cabinet that I've seen that has this mechanism. Some of the others have kind of a seesaw type pull where you push it on one side and then it gives you a pull from the other. But this is the only push button mechanism out there, and they're on these cabinets and their clones. And the drawer is very deep. We'll get you a little bit of a look in there. But the drawer is very deep, and I really do appreciate that they went through the extra trouble to make a nice deep drawer. When I say deep, I mean all the way. It's the full size of the cabinet, as opposed to just like a short drawer, which is kind of what I expected. So it goes very deep. There's the information there. And also, they finished the inside of the drawer, which is really nice. I just threw a lighter in there for purposes of demonstration. So that's really nice. And it seals all the way in, and then you can just push button that right back to how you had it. So really lovely. I love the way that they kind of fashion the whole thing. I want to show you a bit of the side of it. So you can see here it has some nice kind of brass, faux brass, if you will, finish here. And there as well for the carrying handles, if you will. But it's a very light cabinet. So there's a little bit, it doesn't rock, but when you open the door, if you were to put a little pressure on this, you can see it will move. So you don't really want to do that. But with a few cigars in it, it might get even a little bit more. So as far as this goes, I went ahead and put a couple of cigars in here, not because I intend to leave them in there while I season it, but just for demonstration. And even to be even more careful, I chose cigars that are in sealed tubes. That way I'm not messing with the humidity of the cigars while they're outside of the other humidor. So here's a nice Blanton. We'll be smoking that on the channel here soon. So these are a selection of whiskey flavored cigars that I enjoy. So very nice cabinet, and the wood is good quality. The cedar, it smells amazing. Just a really nice smelling cabinet. And that's like the ballast for the LED. And then there is the little button there. You can see it lights up blue, so you can't lose it. Kind of a short cord, so be mindful of that. Fortunately, I have a plug nearby, but it is a short cord, so you may need something like that. The glass, if you will, I think it's just a really nice acrylic, but it really is a thick, nice piece. It might be glass, but I kind of doubt that it is. And in the description, it says that the whole thing is cedar. I don't know that the whole thing is cedar. Like I'm a little bit skeptical of that, but it is quite nice, regardless of whether it's fully cedar or just a cedar veneer. It's absolutely lovely. So that's it. That's the USEWIRE, but again, there's 2 other brands at least out there that make this color, if you like this color. And I highly recommend it so far. Now, this is a first impression. I'll come back and do another review after 6 months. We'll talk about how actually how the Boveda seasoning packs have held up and did. We'll talk about the hygrometer, how accurate it is. Very difficult to tell at this point without a seasoned cabinet. Even though probably I'm going to put a digital one in there anyway. I love the looks of that. And to me, the ones that have just I think they're very cheap looking Casio type hygrometers just ruin the aesthetic of a beautiful wood cabinet. I want to see that brass analog, even if it's just for show. Like, I won't even care if that works because I'm going to put a digital one inside anyway. So there you have it. I hope you all have a chance to pick one up and enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed it so far. And we'll do some more reviews on it as we get more familiar with it. So I can't necessarily recommend it yet, but all I can say is I'm super happy with my purchase and I'm very excited for the way that it looks and so far the way that it functions. Very, very pleased. 2 thumbs up. All right, thank you, and we'll catch you next time in Bub's World. And remember to smoke a cigar and mind your ash. Bye-bye.